see you in the spring. Alright, so let's get started on the front ski for the CRF150F SnowBike build. I got it up here on the table. I'm going to get this nice and leveled out so I know exactly how high off of the ground that I'll need to build the tower for the ski itself. But what I want to cover with this moment is how I'm going to do this. So this is the first ski to the SnowBike with the Predator 212 engine. So it worked out really nice. Obviously it's not built to the level of strength that we'll have to build this one to, but I'm going to basically use the same idea. What you see here are these channels for the fork suspension. I'll be mimicking this setup for the fork suspension on the Honda. For the tower that comes down, basically the same idea, but what I'm going to do is instead of having just two slits with cross beams of bolts here to keep it somewhat rigid, I'm going to try to make this a complete rectangular structure that goes all the way to the ski itself. Now, we learned a lot from the Predator 212 build as far as how the ski can be made. Lots of people have suggested a few things like making it bigger or making a larger scoop on the front. This works just fine in nice packed snow, but anything really fluffy, it just doesn't climb on top of that snow. So what we're doing is making it wider, that scoop much larger. For the ski on the bottom, we're going to basically follow this idea, having that center fin and then two edges that will help grip when you're turning sharply. So yeah, that's the idea. But anyhow, this has been great. I am going to redo this one for that Predator 212. If you haven't seen that build, check it out. It's a little more simple than this. But anyhow, this has worked great. Let's improve on it for the design of this ski. The first thing I want to do is make those C-clamps for the suspension forks coming from the bike so that I can pancake them onto those tubes and create a nice solid platform for attaching to those suspension forks. Okay, so I have the bike pretty much leveled, and this is about the height I want the ski to be touching the ground here with. So this is what I'm going to be using for my my setup. I have here 8-inch stick mild steel. This stuff is heavy, but it's what I got. But what we'll look at doing is getting some good old fashioned cardboard, cutting out the shape I want, and then trying to make the pivot point for the ski down here just below or just right underneath the mounting point for the original tire. And then we'll create that ski, as I mentioned before, using this 1/2-inch thick HDPE. This stuff is really strong. It holds up in cold weather. I'll be showing you how I make the apparatus that will actually attach to it, and then we'll look at making a fin on the bottom. Okay, so this is what we got going so far. So this setup here, I feel, is nice and strong as far as the attachment to the actual pistons. It may not seem like it, but this plastic here is HDPE. It's a high density plastic. It's incredibly strong. It's a little bit flexible, but it resists to cracking and shattering. It's great for impact and overall strength. But anyhow, yeah, that's kind of how it's coming together. The next part here is to create some welds across these beams, just making sure this is completely squared up, and going ahead and creating that extra strong structure so I can attach the ski at the bottom and not worry about anything busted on us. So this is what we got going so far. I need a way to stiffen up this a bit, so what I've done is cut out these 45-degree angle bends, and what I'm going to do is put these, I don't know if you can quite see that, put these to the inside like so around the four corners of the bottom where it's closest to the ski. That should give it quite a bit of rigidity for the torsion that it'll experience. So let's get after it. Okay, so we've pretty much finished up the tower that will connect the ski to the bike. Very sturdy. It probably weighs maybe 15 pounds, a little bit heavier than I thought. As you can see, the bottom right here has that slope to it. That's to catch this bumper in the right spot, like so. Anyhow, so this is what we're gonna make the ski out of. This is 1/2 inch HDPE plastic. Angle edge. And cut and slope as I want. Place this here, then put a bolt through to catch it. So that's essentially how it's going to hook up. So I've got some metal sleeves here that what I'll do is I'll cut a hole through, send it halfway through, and then weld on each side so it's nice and secure. Okay, so this has been a bit of a journey, but I had to kind of widen these out a little bit just to get the alignment right, make sure everything's straight. It's hard to cut holes when you just kind of eyeballing stuff and you don't have a great reference point for measurements to make a really perfect straight shot through, but I think I've got it. So the next part here is to take these, put them in the spaces here and here, center it up, put the bolt through, and then tack weld them in place. After that, I can make the final weld. I think it's going to turn out pretty good here, so let's get right after it. Okay, so just looking at the bottom of the ski here, I have it flipped over. So, a lot of times you'll just see that single fin going, but I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to put this rollerblade wheel just above that ski point, so that the idea, if
if I'm going over something like a road or a hard surface, it will roll on top of that wheel rather than wearing down on the plastic. And also, typically, if you're driving like that and it's not gripping off any snow, it's just gonna dart off left or right, and you're just gonna wipe out. So I think this would be a nice little addition. If it doesn't work, then I'll just replace it with just a solid ski.
Okay, so we've got our main components completed here. This I think is going to work out really well. Nice skids for the side for sharp turning. This should go great for going over like a road surface, something like that. It's pretty much all set in place, real secure, nice and strong. I do want to clean it up a little bit, make it look really nice, but we'll do that a little later. Tower is complete. Again, cleaning it up a little more, just sanding off these edges, making it look nice. Maybe I'll countersink these screws in a little bit so they don't stick out, but we'll see how that goes. Also, now I know I talked at the beginning of this video doing the drivetrain. I have that all set up. The brakes, the chain linkages, all of that is good to go. I want to get into the specifics of what I did. I will include that in the next video. But you know, this one just got a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. This is a very complicated thing to do. It took a lot of steps, so bear with me here. I'll get to that, but we're going to end the video here. This is going to be what I covered today. Question for you guys, considering what to do for color, because I do want to paint this, and I'm just going to leave it bare metal. What color do you think would be great for this tower, for the edges here, and also for the drive frame? I don't think I want to paint the aluminum. I think it looks nice as it is, but if you have an idea, shout it out. But yeah, for this back cage here, I was thinking about doing either maybe a white or a red to match the scheme of the Honda. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Really excited to give this thing a try. We're still waiting on snow here in Minnesota. We have just maybe an inch or two of snow that's out there right now. No, this is really going to be good for deep snow, so hoping that comes soon. But I hope you've enjoyed the build here. Give your suggestions for the colors on what to paint this as. And in the next video, I want to cover how I did the drivetrain. I'll hook it all up, and I really want to get a really cool video going of it riding. So hopefully we have snow by then. Also, I bought a drone for taking videos, so I think that's going to be really fun to show off how well it works, and just something that can take some really cool video. So that's what's next on the agenda. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video.